Hi everyone, welcome back to Art with Mrs. Bodden. Today is one of my favorite days. Today is Story and a Drawing Day. So today we are going to read Art Dog, and then after that we're going to draw a cartoon dog. So without further ado, we are going to swap to my other camera so that you can follow along with our story, and then we will do our drawing. So today is Art Dog. Art Dog. This is a great story. Arthur Dog was a guard at the Dogopolis Museum of Art. He liked his job. He liked guarding the paintings by Vincent van Gogh and Pablo Poodle, but Leonardo da Vinci was Arthur's favorite painter. Or was it Henri Matisse? Arthur couldn't decide. At night, Arthur came home to his little apartment on West 17th Street. He made himself dinner and read until it was time for bed. Arthur led a quiet life. He seldom went out, except on nights when the moon was full. On those nights, Arthur's eyes grew bright and his fur seemed to glisten. He would take out the box he kept in his closet, put on a hat and a mask, and tiptoe down the back stairs and into the streets of Dogopolis. He crept down an alley, and when he was sure no one was around, he unlocked the box and took out paints and brushes. He painted a slash of lightning, a splash of sunshine, and dozens of glowing lights in the night. He painted monsters 10 feet tall, fish with tails the size of houses, frogs ready to hop over skyscrapers. When he was finished, he crept home, a dog alone, wondering if anyone ever noticed his paintings. No one saw him paint or sign his paintings with a splat of his tail. And the name Art Dog, no one knew who Art Dog really was. Until one night at the museum. Crash! A window was broken. A door was busted. Bring! The alarm went off, and footsteps clattered down the alley behind the museum. The police screeched to the scene of the crime. The director of the museum was not far behind. Yikes, the Mona Wolf is gone, cried the museum director. Look what they left instead of Leonardo da Vinci. Is this art? Looks like the Mona Lulu to me, said the chief of police. The paint's still wet, said the museum director. Find me the culprit, barked the chief of police. They nabbed the first dog they found in the alley. His eyes had a certain glow to them, and his fur seemed to glisten in the moonlight. He also had a paintbrush in his paw. Book him, said the chief of police. They threw him in jail, but when no one was looking, he pulled out a brush and a tube of paint, and he painted a ladder. He climbed up the ladder, and where there were bars, he painted a window and jumped out. Back onto the streets of Dogopolis. Then he put his nose to the air. What was he sniffing? Suddenly, he took out his brush and his paints. Zip, splash, splosh, smoosh. He painted himself a brushmobile with his name on the side. Art Dog. He whizzed over to the Acme paint factory to fill up his tank. Then off he roared into the night, over highways and bridges, through the park, and past the ballet, leaving a trail of paint behind him as he went. He slammed on the brakes in front of a deserted warehouse. He sniffed, he tiptoed, he looked inside. 3 nasty-looking mutts were getting ready to ship something to a distant port. He took a closer look. It was the Mona. Yikes! The mutts turned around. Hey, what are you doing here? Said the biggest mutt. Gosh, I must have made a wrong turn, said Art Dog. You can say that again, said the mutts. It looked like big trouble for Art Dog. There's only one thing left to do. Paint. En garde, touche. What a masterpiece! Wow, said the chief of police as he arrived with the museum director. How did you know where the Mona was? Art Dog wiggled his nose. I can smell art a mile away. The director of the museum said, "I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Art Dog," said Art Dog, pointing to his brushmobile. "Art Dog, I like the way you paint. How about a show at the museum?" "Sure thing," said Art Dog, as he sped away in his brushmobile. Soon, it was the night for Art Dog's show at the Dogopolis Museum of Art. Everyone stood around and sipped root beer as they waited to meet Art Dog and see his paintings. But where was he? Where were his paintings? And for that matter, wondered the museum director, where's Arthur? He should be on the job tonight. Suddenly there was a sound. Everyone rushed outside just in time to see Art Dog high in the sky, finishing his masterpiece, City Rhapsody. Everyone was amazed and speechless. Then suddenly, he was gone. Who was Art Dog? Who was this painter in a brushmobile, catcher of crooks, bringer of light to the Dogopolis night? No one knew. So, now it's time to grab a piece of paper and pencil, probably your eraser, because it's time to do the drawing part of our story and drawing today. So, first thing we're going to do, paper's going the tall way. Fold in half top to bottom. Just like we always do, open it up, fold it side to side. Just like we always do. Then you're going to turn it over so we're on the back. I need 3 pieces of information on the back. First one is always your name first and last. Always first and last. Oh, I messed with my camera. Sorry, guys. Second one, teacher. So who's your teacher? Get it on there. Third one, what day is it today? What day is it that I'm seeing you? So is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? What day is it? Then we're going to come back over to the front. Today we're going to be working around our middle to start with, and then we'll go from there. We're going to start on our middle fold that goes horizontally. We are going to draw a line that traces our middle fold. You're going to want to make sure it's about 4 fingers. If you're a little wider than 4 fingers, great. If you're not quite 4 fingers, make it a little bit longer. So you can see mine goes beyond my 4 fingers. We're good. We're now going to turn that into a rectangle. That's going to be our collar for our dog. Pretty easy so far. We're going to come in off the right side. We're going to draw up and over towards the edge of our paper. We're not going to touch it though. Next, we're going to come, let's go 3 fingers down. I want you to make a mark. So 3 fingers from the top of your paper, make me a mark. It's going to be the top of our dog's head. So we're going to start at this line. We're going to come down. We're going to curve out and come back in. Don't make this line too dark. We are going to need to erase some of it as we're going to overlap it with ears. Other parts, we're going to come forward, going to drop down, then come forward again. And I overdrew my bottom line, so I will need to do some erasing. And then we're going to angle this line back slightly. So as I said, I overdrew mine, so I'm going to take my eraser, I'm going to erase my overdraw. Now, doesn't look much like a dog yet, but we're getting there. Next, we're going to do 2 ovals. They're going to overlap each other, so they're going to go one over the top of each other. We are going to draw this first one right here. So it is going to touch the front of our face that we just drew. I'm going to draw me a big oval. Our second oval is going to look like it is tucked back behind. So we're going to start it here, come out and around. Now, I do not need this line. I actually don't need that little sliver either. So I'm going to just erase them. I'm going to fix this one just a little bit. There we go. Now, inside our eyes, we're going to draw two smaller ovals. Don't color these in just yet. You know, a lot of you want to color your eyes in. Don't color them in just yet. Okay, so now we have head, eyes. We're going to draw ears next. Now, your ears are going to look kind of like hair, and that's okay. So we're going to start our ear here at the edge. We're going to come out around. You're going to curl. So this is the top of his ear, bottom of his ear. We're going to come here. This one's going to curve up just a little bit, and then it's going to come down and around and meet up with that first one. I do not need this line right here. The back of his head, I don't need anymore. I just needed it there so that I could draw his ear correctly. So I'm going to erase it. Okay, so there's one ear. Our other ear is on the back side of his head, so we can't see all of it. So we're just going to draw a little half circle on the top of his head. Or her head. We haven't decided what it's going to be yet. So we got ears, we got eyes, we got a head. Let's do our nose. Our nose, we're just going to curve off the corner of our shape. We give him a cute little smiley mouth. And then I want you to give him about 6 dots. So these are where his whiskers could be or should be. So 6 dots. Okay, time for a body. Now, body is going to come down and go straight across. So we need some room at the bottom for our feet. So I want you to take and let's go 2 fingers. So we're going to line up 2 fingers to make a mark. So I need at least this much room at the bottom. Otherwise, we're not going to have enough room for his feet. So I'm going to take that line and I'm going to extend it a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And I'm going to curve from here, right down behind where his neck is, and come down. So starting here, I'm going to curve slightly and come down. Same thing on the front. I'm going to curve slightly and come down. Now, I don't like that he's so skinny, so I'm going to bring mine out just a little further on the front and out just a little bit more on the back. Do I need those lines? No, I do not. So I'm going to erase my inner lines. And then because I got a little carried away with my erasing, I have to erase away or draw back in my lines. Okay, so we're going to draw our feet. These lines at the bottom, don't draw them super dark yet because we're going to do some overlap and erasing. So we're going to draw our feet first. We'll draw the 2 front feet first, and then we'll go to the back feet. So we're going to start with an L shape. We want it to go beyond his body. Then we're going to draw backwards L. Pretty easy. Next, you're going to come over to the right just a little bit, come down, and we're going to give him a big paw. Then we're going to go do the same thing to the left. So I'm going to come over and curve up and out. Now, do I need this inside? I do not. So now it's my eraser time. Please make sure you're using the eraser in your art kit if you're here at school with me or with my sub. Do not use the one on your pencil. That one's not going to last if you do. Okay, so we got 2 feet. Now we got to draw 2 more feet. So to do those feet, we're just going to start out with a straight line about halfway up his foot. We're going to do that in both directions. Then we're going to come up to his body, coming up from his foot, and we're just going to curve out and touch. Curve out and touch. Super easy. Now it's time to give him some toes. You're going to give me 3 lines on each foot. There we go. 3 lines on each foot. Now he needs a tail. So we're going to curve up and come back down. Now, if we want to make our tail look like he's wagging, he's happy to see us. We're going to draw some motion lines at the top. Motion lines on the side. So now it looks like his tail is wagging. Okay, next up. Gotta give him background. We're going to keep this simple. I'm not going to draw my horizon line where my ground meets my sky here. I'm going to move it up further. So I'm going to move it up about the middle of his nose. Why? Because I want not a whole lot of sky. I want him to have lots of room to play. So I'm going to come up here right about the bottom of his nose. I'm going to start my line. I'm going to go to the right. Then I'm going to very carefully come over here and I'm going to go to the left. So now my dog has from this line, nope, I'm not even there. I'll have to fix that. Has from this line all the way down to the bottom of my paper as grass to play in. There we go, that looks better. Now, because I don't want to draw a fence, I'm going to draw some bushes behind him to keep him in our yard. So, my bushes are not going to be very fancy. They're going to look like clouds that touch the ground. And then they come down and touch his head. And then I'm going to start my second round right there. Now, to give him a little bit more detail, so they look kind of like bushes, I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw a couple of curved lines that kind of make it look like it's got some stuff to it. Now, if you want, you could draw a small sign in the corner or up at the top somewhere. You can add some details. Let's add a little bit of grass. Now, our grass is always fun because I just take and I cram a bunch of V's and W's all together and scribble it. So give me 3 to 5 scribbles of grass. Odd number makes it more interesting. So there's my 5. And there you have it. There's our cute little dog for Art Dog. You can draw a tag on him if you want, or her. If you want to make it a girl, give her some eyelashes, because that's what my daughter thinks. And have fun coloring your art dog. I will see you guys soon. Bye.